down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
All right, party people. Hopefully you're doing good. A couple of things. Tomorrow is a class. I don't know why people don't have tickets for this class tomorrow. We're not selling anything at this class. This is not get rich quick, sell you a law course, or give you protection LLC BS. This is a real attorney with real information who's a real estate investor. That's Jackie Short. Maybe you're just dumb and cheap, but I would not miss out on this. I saw her notes. I read her notes. It's all pure content. It'll be probably 2.5 hours of intensity about your LLC, what you should be doing. I would not miss this class tomorrow night. Buddy up with somebody. It's $95 or $75. I would not miss it. I mean, we're covering the questions that you're asking. What LLC should have? What's an S corp? How does it work? Now we're gonna do some tax advice, but we have no claims. You know, we're trying to get a CPA there. But that's the reason why you want to have a certain specific LLC, S corp, and so on and so forth. Okay, I definitely recommend having that course. The question that was asked: will she be able to do LLCs for you? No. Okay, because it's not complicated to file an LLC, but your bylaws and all those things are important, and you need to have some real counsel. Which she is a real lawyer, attorney. But that's not what her specialty is now. Now she's down making money with me. That's how we do. So we don't got time for this loyal crap.
You'll know how to do your own when you leave.
Yeah, you should be able to do your own. Okay. Not next Tuesday, but the following at the end of the month is the investor breakfast. If you don't know who Scott McLean is, he is a hard money lender. You should listen to his podcast. He's got a funny laugh. I like his laugh. So he's going to be outrageously funny speaker. He's so savvy that he has $7 million of line of credit, and then he brokers that money out. How can you be mad at $7 million? That's what he manages, and he brokers it out. If you need hard money, you want to learn about hard money, next Tuesday. If sometimes things change, if you need to get your phone out, text landlord to 545454, whatever, and get on the know. If you missed out on Airbnb. And guess who's coming to Oklahoma City? I just secured that. He's coming. Mike Butler, best-selling author, Investor Tools books and credit. I looked him up on Amazon. Just so you know, I've written a book. If you haven't read my book, that's okay. I still like you. But I'm 1.8 million down on the list. It's freaking sexy. It's sexy. It's sexy. I'm like, the Savvy Landlord is like dirt. It's all good. Nobody reads anyway. After I wrote a few of them, I was like, why no one buys books? You know, I realized people buy books, put them on the shelf, think they're cool. But I looked up his ranking. He is 42 in real estate. He's a best-selling author. Okay, so he's an incredible person. He is going to be talking about a lot of the stuff I do, and I talk about what we're talking about today is actually truly based on Mike Butler and Mr. Landlord. Mark your calendar, save the date. Tickets are going on sale this week for $100. We're gonna have like two rooms this year. We're gonna have the Superstardom roundtable session where there'll be 16 speakers where they don't move. You can go talk to this person and then go talk to this person. And that's on Friday night with a bar. Those dates are April 7th and 8th. Okay? You don't want to miss out on that. All right. Anyway, if you don't know me, that's okay. Today is your day. Today we're talking about property management part 2. Who didn't come to the class before? Not the class. Okay, we got 5 people. We'll go through these real fast. Okay? Does anybody remember for a candy bar or for a cookie where we ended at? Anybody who's a high seat? Jasper, get your hand up. You don't have an answer, put your hand down.
It was, I think, move-in specials, and we were talking about evictions.
Okay, he's right. We ended at move-in specials. So we'll go backwards so you remember. Anybody do any move-in specials? I have. They fail. Do they good for you? The only thing I put in move-in specials and I got riff-raff.
Yes.
And you won't know until 3 months later.
Right.
Does that make sense? So yeah, I move in special. I'm all filled up, and then they didn't pay their rent the second month. Well, I wonder why. All right. Last minute inquiries. What does that mean? I have cash.
Run away.
Stay away. Right. Setting proper rent amount. How do you do rent? How do you find? I got this question yesterday from some rookie investor. Hey man, how much is this rent? He just gave me a random address. I know what to charge. I just reply back. What do you use? What's the 2 websites?
Zillow Rentals.
Who?
Zillow Rentals. Wow.
Zillow and
Rent-O-Meter.
and maybe Craigslist. There you go. Come on, this is just a renewal here. Hits the what is that called? Review. Renter's insurance. Do we make them have it? Yes or no?
You can require it.
You can. Should you? April.
Yes.
Yes, you should twist their hand. You should. How much does it cost for a renter's policy? $200 to $300. No.
20 to 30 a month.
20. That's right. People listen. So close to 200. 200 to 300. Yeah, you can say it that way. Okay, and you should recommend that. Okay, handling maintenance. What's the first thing you should do?
Get it in writing.
Get it in writing. Speaking from an attorney herself. And I just sat through a deposition. I've learned so much about writing things out. What else? The next thing you should do: get it in writing, and then what? Create a paper trail. Create a work order, because you're going to use that work order if you ever have any problems in court. Okay. Screening tenants. What's the best way to screen tenants? Has anybody listened to the podcast this morning? Write this down. FamilyTreeNow.com. You will crap your pants. Did you listen to it this morning? Did you go right to it?
Then I went on it.
Did you shit your pants? Yeah, I know you shit your pants because I did.
Of course, there's
Chicks that I hung out with.
extras.
Chicks that I just said, hey, how you doing they were on there. I'm being serious.
FamilyTree.com.
FamilyTreeNow.com. Family Tree. Everybody get to Family Tree. Everybody pull your phone out. Pull your phone out. Come on. What's participation? I don't have that much material today, so we're gonna make it up. Family Tree. Do it. As we're talking. All right. You will be completely amazed on whatever. Let me just shut this thing off. It's distracting. Okay. What's another site besides FamilyTreeNow.com? Hello, Gina? What's Facebook? There you go. Social media butterfly, sting like a bee. Okay, so Facebook. What's another one?
Just Google them.
Just Google. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Smartmove.com, Buildium, OSCN. You Google up Oklahoma Court Records on Demand, and that's a new website. I don't know what the address is off the top of my head, but go to Google. Joanne can figure that out. GOO.
www.1.odcr.
There she is. There's my super detail. We still have to have lunch, girl.
It'll be a big long.
How do you Hey, we're on limited time here. We're on 8 minutes. We got like a whole book written. All right. How do you pre-qualify a tenant? What's the 4 questions? 4 questions. Go ahead. Hey, student back there.
When do you want to move in? Have you driven by the property? Who's going to be living exactly
With you.
With you, and when can you leave?
There you go. Pre-qualifying. So many times I fail and they can't move in for 3 months from now. That's just idiotic. You know what I'm saying? Ask them, when do you need to move in? Why? And another question I ask later in the thing is, why are you moving?
Wow. Yes.
Why are you moving? What's wrong? Oh, I live with my mom. Who's gotten that one before? I've been living with my parents for a long time. Time for you to move out. Well, you cut your teeth on some other landlord. Don't cut your teeth on me.
Truth is, they're in the middle of eviction.
Speaking from a very nice attorney. All right. Software to run your business. What are they? Buildium. Appfolio. Propertyware. There's...
Podio.
You could cut Excel. Podio. Any other software? Nope. Matt Ball uses QuickBooks to run his deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we're at. Now we just reviewed all those. Now we're property management part 2. Here we go. Eviction. Should you go to eviction court? You personally. What's your first answer?
No.
No. How do you prevent from going to court?
Hire an attorney.
Hire an attorney.
Or you pay him to.
How much does it cost to hire an attorney?
$200.
Who do you hire?
And I've
You just
hired
making shit up as you roll?
Rice. Rick Rice.
Rice? You like rice?
I used him once and he was great.
Great, good for you.
That was several years ago.
I'm just playing. Rich, right? He never called me back. Anybody have any problems with him?
I just use people in his office.
Okay, but did they call you back?
Yeah, they're fine.
I've never gotten a call back. I just no offense. I mean, this is being recorded, so he probably hates me now. It's okay. He probably sue me. That's okay. Everybody likes to sue everybody. Okay, well, Joanne's right. Rick Rice. Who is the other attorneys that do evictions that do them well?
Robert Goldman.
Robert Goldman.
Oh,
Who uses Robert Goldman? Nobody evicts people? Smart people in this room. Try not to. What's ways that you could prevent an eviction?
pay him to move.
Pay him to move. What's another term for that?
Keys for cash or
Cash for keys.
Something like that.
Has anybody ever done cash for keys? Okay, Mike, tell me how you do it.
I make it not about them. I make it about the situation. I'm like, look, man, this isn't working. No, I'm gonna have to. No, you were gonna do that a month and a half ago. You know,
Right.
time's up. So here's the deal. I know that you need money more than the lawyer does. So what I can do for you is, if you can be out of here by next weekend or whatever, all your stuff, not a stick of furniture, not a piece of trash, everything out of this house, and clean it up, I will pay you whatever number I think would be good for me. $300 to go, so you can find your next place, and I won't press legal charges against you for the rent that you owe me. And I'll get you a piece of paper that says I'm not going to come after you.
All right, put your hands together for my man.
That's good.
The one line that I love, what was the one line that stood out?
We're not making it about the situation.
The situation. The number two, he says, the lawyer doesn't need the money. Put the negativity on the attorney. Okay, should you do this in writing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah?
No,
No.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why do I want to put it in writing?
not text,
Nothing.
Writing.
You need to do this in person.
phone call, or
Why?
in person.
Then it's admissible in court.
Well, it looks like you're forcing them out. Okay, and anybody can flip stuff like that. Not that per se, but stuff like you think I'm being nice and generous has come back to bite me in the face. Trying to be nice to somebody, and this is a casual conversation. Now, when they move out, do I put something in writing? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When they move out and it's broom clean and they want money from me, a check which is $300, I make them sign a release that they can't sue me from here on in. We agree on departing, and these are the circumstances, and this is why. I have that documented, absolutely. But my negotiating through text messages, no way, Jose. Okay, make sure. What else is another thing? What does anybody know the process? What's the cost of eviction court? Don't say anything. You know.
$250 if you do it yourself. About.
Well, first of all, it's $66 to file. That's the first thing you have to do. Okay? Well, the very first thing you have to do, you have to post notice. Okay? And what's the notice? What's the notice you have to post?
5-day.
5-day notice?
In person.
Okay. How do you have to do with the 5-day notice? There's a legal, don't say anything. Somebody else.
Certified
The
mail.
certified mail is one. Make sure that's where a lot of rookie landlords fail. Okay? First of all, our law in Oklahoma is a really good landlord-friendly state. It doesn't seem like it, but there's other states that are horrible. Number one, what do you have to do? 5-day notice, you have to post it, certified mail it. Okay? And then I actually mailed it to them too, because they never go to the post office to pick it up anyway. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay? And you can email it too if you want to. Right? Will that hold up in court per se? I don't know. What holds up in court? Certified mail. Now, where do you go to get your certified mail done? You can go down to the post office, or where you can go? Online to what website? You guys don't know this? CertifiedMailingLabels.com. Come on, Russ. You know the deal.
I don't
Come on.
remember, but I know I
I
have.
guess you haven't evicted anybody in a while. I mean, that's my favorite website in the world. I certified mail everything to everybody. There's no confusion. Right? Hey, you said this? Do them. Guess how much it costs? $4.35 certified mail. How much does it cost to do it at the post office? $6.55. Okay? Save $2. I go online. I log in. I click a button. It prints out. I got a funky green envelope, and it's certified mail. I take that to the attorney, to the court, to the judge. 100% trackable. As soon as I print it out, as soon as it gets into the blue box and they scan it, it's 100% trackable. Okay? So, and you never have to leave your office. You could be, you know, at one of your cribs somewhere in a foreign place, and you're certified mailing people. All right, what else? So you got to post it, certified mail. Then the next thing you know, what do you have to wait? You got to wait 5 days. Now it gets tricky. I don't want to get all too anal detail because this is not the eviction court, but it depends on when you serve them, depending on the days. Just to be anal technical with you, you could say 5 days, but if you deliver it at 5 o'clock on the 5th day or the 4th, it's not 5. Does that make sense? I don't want to get into the technicality. And I've seen the judge actually bring that up. So just make sure that when you post it and your certified mail, and then what you do after they don't pay, you file. And it costs how much? $66 to file. Now, right here, you should probably hire an attorney. I was trying to figure. I was actually trying to write a book on confessions of eviction court, and that was a dumb move. Who's gonna read that? No one reads anyway. I went through so many court cases. I'm like, I started just stabbing myself just for fun, and it was way more fun. But I've been there like 60 times, and I really don't want to ever go to court again. And you should probably have that same mindset. You know, I learned from a very successful real estate investor. I'm like, have you been sued? He's like, no, I've been to court one time. I settle out every time. You know, when he told me that story 3 years ago, I was like, wow, whack, whack, whack. Now I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. I learned the other day too that 97% don't go to trial. Only 3% of cases go to trial. I thought that was very interesting. Just FYI. That doesn't really matter. But you file. Then what do you do? What if they show up with the money? What do you do then?
Turn it down.
Turn them down.
You can write another.
When I've decided to evict them, they're gone.
Okay. That's your policy.
They are in breach of contract.
They're in breach of contract. So the actual lease is null and void from there on in. As soon as you actually, and I could be corrected here, Attorney 101, but as soon as you file the 5 day, as soon as you do the eviction, the 5 day notice, the contract is null and void. Is that pretty accurate?
I'm not sure about that one. At some point it is.
Yeah, and then what happens is if you take their money, and say that partial payment, the whole ball has to start all over again. Does that make sense? So you have to. I mean, have I taken their $500 and given them a 5 day notice? Yeah, at the same time. Do I recommend that? You know, not with Pat's policy. Pat says,
I have
"F you."
Slightly different take on the attorney thing too.
Or what's your
My
take?
wife is frequently in my way, so I let her handle all the evictions.
Did you say your wife's on your way?
Yeah,
Is that what you said? What the hell is wrong
She
with you,
goes down
man?
there and takes care of that. It's like, help, and I don't have to see her all that.
Father God, I just we gonna have to pray for you, bro. That's straight up wrong. F that. Who's married? Not anymore. What's her phone number? There's something wrong with you,
She
man.
knows.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk. Okay, so you file. Then what happens after that? You get a court date, right?
You gotta serve them.
Well, yeah, that's right. You have to hire a public service, and you process server. And there's two kinds. What kinds are they?
Sheriff.
Private and public. Public is the sheriff, or private. Does anybody know how much they cost?
50 to 65.
Different.
Goldman Law is $35 for just. I mean, it's in his office, and that's that's what he charges us. That's not because I'm somebody. I'm nobody. That's just $35. It's in his office. So you have to hire them. Why? Because they are an instrument of the court. They verify that these people were served. What if you have a court date, you filed, and the process server can't serve them? What happens at court? Does anybody know? Just not your attorneys. Anybody know what happens? There's a specific type of judgment happens. Does anybody want to gander? They don't show up to court, but they didn't get served. And it's a default judgment. What type of judgment is it?
No money.
It's a no money. That's right. You get money, which really doesn't matter anyway. They're deadbeat anyway. That's right. But you can get a monetary judgment on them, and then you can go after them and hire an attorney and garnish your wages, or sell that judgment to a firm to represent that. That's a lot of confusion. A lot of people, if you're trying to sue somebody, it depends on how big the case is. If you could still sue without them being served. Now you have to still have documentation that you did hire a process server. Does that make sense? But keep in mind, don't think it's ironclad that you hired some process server and you're going to get a money judgment on the situation. Now, just for any kind of CPA people, any CPAs in the room? Can you write this off as a tax deduction?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other questions on the eviction? Then you show up to court, you file, and here's the deal. After the law says you need to serve a writ. Did you know that?
The writ comes after the.
You show up to court, doesn't show up to court. Now, the place is broom clean. Do you have to file a writ?
No.
Now this.
It depends.
If they're gonna,
Well, here's
Yeah.
Who wants to argue on this one?
no,
Are you sure?
If you want to get back true possession,
That's right.
legal.
Because
Must be.
legal true possession. Now, believe me, I'm not trying to get you to spend another $110. Now, I'm in a case right now. Its place is clean, but there's some items in there, and it was a default judgment.
30 days.
Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to file the writ just to cover all of my bases. Okay. Now, a lot of landlords out there, they just file. Okay, the guy doesn't show up to court. They got a default judgment. They take over. They pull everything out to the garage. Out to the front, and you're just, you're opening yourself up to more drama than ever before. But if you ever do that, I don't know who does that. But if you decide to do that, that may be your thing. I'm glad we're not on video. I would definitely recommend taking video and pictures of intensity. But there has been legal court cases that there were diamonds in that couch next to the roaches. They were hugged up on the diamonds, multiplying. And this tenant came back and said, "Where's my diamonds?"
they want their cocaine back.
Yeah, and they want their cocaine back too. Okay? Do they have a claim? Do they have a claim? Yes, they do.
There you go.
Yes, they do. Okay. Everybody, any questions on eviction court? We spent way too much time kicking people out.
If they kick their stuff to the curb, do they have a claim?
How do you prove that? I'm telling you, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm trying to get specific on how I got lured into something, which hopefully it comes to my mind. I'm in a court case right now, and where someone did some work on a property, and I let them do the work. You see what I'm saying? But how do you prove? You see what I'm saying? There's no way to prove. They said this, big bad millionaire landlord. Everyone's a millionaire. Remember that, right? Every time you go to court, you're a zillionaire, and you're all going to go to hell. So just keep that in mind, and ask if that judge has any rental properties.
And one does.
No one does.
One does.
Okay, good for him.
Her.
Good for her. Wow. Wow.
Good
I'm just going to say wow on her.
There is no such thing as a good one.
Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just remember, when you step onto that courtroom, this is what you're going against. You're a millionaire. You have 1,000 houses. The judge doesn't have 1,000 houses. He might have one. Poor tenant works 5 jobs. Pays taxes, but we don't. You see what I'm saying? So you need to have this going into the deal. So her question is a very valid question, and let's just repeat it. What if the tenant moved this stuff out without you're not touching it, right? But I think that's entrapment in my world. Okay, like I'm all crazy, just so you know. Has everybody nod their head?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm crazy. Now, I document everything. Every time I step on a property, I take a picture. I get out of my car, I take a picture. Right now, everyone that walked in here has been recorded like 6 different times. Yeah, they're all over the place. Oh, yeah. In my truck, too. You notice how I backed in? It's called combat parking. When you look at my truck, right? On the rearview mirror, there's the dash cam on my rearview mirror. And this is dual dash. It's going reverse, too. Because I know a friend that got sued massively on a fake frivolous court where someone pulled out, you see what I'm saying? What's $100? Right? But I'm just, to answer your question, I would just document everything. And I always, everywhere I roll, and this is what's helping me with this case that I'm on right now, that I roll with someone everywhere I go. I took that from Billy Graham.
I had someone throw everything out on the curb, everything, and leave it for 3 to 4 days. And what I did was contacted the police and had them do drive-bys to make sure that it was safe.
Right.
And took pictures of them hauling everything out and leaving it by the side of the curb.
Right.
And then they come back and was mad because some of their stuff was gone.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I know this is what happens in my world. If it was left on the curb, and I don't,
You know, in the front yard from the.
I understand curb, however you want. Guess what happens in Oklahoma City?
You get
Big
like
trash.
You get a
Landlord.
whoever says violation.
Landlord gets a-
What do they do? What are they doing all day long in their little car?
Right.
Code conversion. That's what they're looking for. Hey, millionaire landlord. There's like a piece of wood out there. Bang, 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 bang.
$200.
$300. $300 all day long. And that's why we have the Political Action Committee, PAC, Kevin Cool. What is that guy's name, that attorney? Anybody know his name? Kevin somebody? Super guy down there. He's a real landlord.
Calvin.
Yeah, he's all, we're homies. We're trying to change this law. There's another case a friend of mine's in where that he owns this property and actually the title and deeds completely switched. So he actually owns this vacant land, but he really owns the house. And this person that owns the vacant land owns his house. And so they keep suing him, the city, but he really doesn't own that piece. He owns the house. Think about the nightmare. Think about title insurance in full effect. This won't be in the book. This one's in the book right now. And the cool thing is they are suing the city. So, and because it's malice, how they are attacking landlords on stuff on the curb. Now, you're down in Norman, Cleveland County. I don't know what kind of drama you have down there, but anything that happens up here in Oklahoma City, dude, I'm telling you, 3 days is way too long. I'm talking like 36 hours. And it's hard to know. So what do you do in a situation like that? Document it. And what you should do is hire a third-party company to handle that transaction for you. Does that make sense? Or, report it. Like, you can report it, call the city. Have some sort of
You don't
documentation.
Because they'll come out and find you. Call the police department and make a report.
Make a report. Hey, everything's on the curb. I don't know what's going on. Domestic abuse. I don't know. Someone killed somebody. I don't know. Roll over here. I saw a gun somewhere. I kicked it. Okay? I'm serious. Document this stuff. Okay. Eviction court. Are we cool with that? Any questions on eviction? I know 3 hands went up when we talked about eviction. Anybody has any questions on evictions? Should you do them?
Yes.
Yes. Don't be soft. You should do them. Should you handle them? No. Should you have an attorney handle them? Yes. Okay, what was the total cost for attorney? Goldman charges $150 to file the whole process. That's just his fee. Now, he charges, there's $35 for the process server, and then you have to pay for the writ and do all that jazz, okay? So you're looking at $150 with him. You're looking at all the court fees and stuff. It boils down to about $350, okay? Pet deposit, pet fee. Anybody have pets?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, we talked about adding a pet shower. Someone sent me a text message. Someone actually did that, pet shower. Okay. Now, should he call it deposit or fee?
Fee.
What's the word deposit mean?
Return.
It's a legal term, correct? It says that it's just a temporary situation that the money must be returned without cause, right? So when you're charging someone, it's not a pet deposit. It's not a pet deposit. It's a everybody. It's not a pet deposit. It's a. I learned that the hard way. Okay, I look at people's leases all the time, and it says right there, people go online, buy a lease. Go to Office Depot, buy a real estate lease. They think they're rolling, and it says in their deposit, right? Because there's certain states and cities that require it as a deposit. Here in Oklahoma, it's kind of Wild West, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of Indians around and running around. That's what they say, teepees and stuff. You can charge fees if you want to. Okay, but what is an excessive fee? Does anybody know what an excessive fee is?
Something the judge doesn't freeze.
Exactly. Here we go again. Remember, he's got one rental property. We have 1,000. All right. Should you do pets? Should you charge a fee? How much extra should you charge? Can you charge extra for a pet?
Yes.
Yeah. And what should that be?
5%.
5% at least. Someone did their homework.
I put $750.
So No, extra a month. No, you could do a pet fee, but if you have a pet in my property, yeah, we'll charge you a reasonable fee to allow that vicious animal to stroll up in there, even if it's a Chihuahua.
Oh, they are.
And then we're going to charge you how much extra a month?
At least 5%.
At least 5%. Because why?
Because they're going to do
Damage.
Yeah.
They're peeing somewhere.
Except if it's a
They're peeing, and they're not peeing outside. Did you see that post I put on Facebook? Anybody see my post on Facebook? Oh, I'm not peeing outside today, homie.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, right there on the couch.
The hell with that.
Dogs are smart, man. They're like, I don't know. You probably guarantee Google it up. I get you they're smarter than humans. They just can't talk. Something wrong with them. They know what's going on. You know, anybody? You guys? I don't want to know if you have an animal because it changes the dynamic of our friendship. I have. Let's move on. I had a turtle and it died.
On pets, what about emotional support?
Good friend.
That's not a good.
30 minutes. Okay. Did you get enough? See ya. And we're doing good on time.
What about service dogs?
Oh God, did we talk about that last time?
They're not pets.
Yeah, you have to allow a service dog legally. Can you charge them a fee is a big question I get all the time.
No, you cannot.
I probably not. Sally, attorney over here, probably not. But I would charge them a deposit.
You can't do a deposit though, right?
No, you cannot.
You can't do deposit?
If they damage something, you can take it out of their deposit.
Hey, or
So you can't
can
charge them
do
extra?
this. Or you can do it like this. That advertised price, when you find out it's a service dog, that advertised price was for a 5-year lease. Now, for each 6 year pay that we deduct off, that's $18 every 6 months. So how long would you like your lease to be?
I don't want to say anything. There's a lot of tricks. I mean, what he's saying is an accurate way of doing business. Don't advertise a price at all. If you really, and then you can. I know landlords that do that today. They don't. What can you afford, ma'am? Oh, I can only afford 1,000. Absolutely. We could do $995.
Yeah, bingo.
This is an $800 house.
Car salesman.
No, I know people that do this for real. If you were at Investor Weekend last year, who talked about this? Mr. Landlord. This is a big thing. It works. I can't. I got staff. I can't make. They're not that savvy. I mean, no, they're great. But I'm just saying, like, in my world, I got to keep everything consistent. Like Sally, because we may be, cycling people in and out. They may not work out. They don't follow the system. If you don't follow the system, you got to roll out. You see what I'm saying? You got to keep up with the system. I can't orchestrate that type of system. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how many videos I can make. Hey, change the price whenever you want to. That ain't going to work. Right? But it's a business model that does work for certain people. Yeah. They advertise, we're flexible, we'll work within your budget. But you have to do it all the way across the board. Okay? You can't do that for certain people. You might be able to do it for certain property because you're getting against HUD laws. Does that make sense? But you can do that. It's legal. I mean, not illegal. Would it be illegal? I mean, you can deem it as bait and switch if someone wanted to. But have you lowered rent before for somebody? Yeah, it's called who? Section 8? Has anybody ever come to you on a Section 8 inspection? It's been advertised for this price, and then they hit you at the last second. Yes. Can you do it for this number? Wow, that's a good technique. What books did you read? I mean, has that ever happened to anybody, or is that just me?
Section 8 deems what you can charge for that place.
Well, you can. This is my favorite question. What's the market rent? Well, I'm an expert.
Theirs.
You're an expert, right? Are you not an expert? Do they have rental property? Who's an expert? Who's the star witness in your case?
Section 8 is
the landlord.
The money.
That's right.
No, the Section 8 can deny you. They can't deem what you. I've negotiated with Section 8. I've negotiated on the high and on the low. But I've been about to sign a lease with somebody, and they said, well, it's $750 the whole time. Well, their voucher's only $710. Can you do $710? What am I gonna do?
Pays the difference.
So you can't. Well,
yeah, they have to pay 50 or 60.
Well, you can.
It depends on their income.
But if on their income, if they don't do it, we're not talking about Section 8 today. But you can then they can drop them from the program, or they won't sign that lease with you, because you can, and you can't do a side hustle with them.
Oh no.
Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm just saying that whatever this got into the subject of Section 8, it can negotiate. The prices do change, but that's a government institution. That's illegal in our world. You can't advertise a price and then change the price, and not being consistent with someone. Someone can get you on a HUD law for that, housing authority. Right? You have to be consistent across the board. Yes, Blake.
Yeah, I'll pull this back, not to rehash this. I know we had this discussion. I think it was a few months back. But on the pet deposits and the whole thing, I think that probably the deeper question in this scenario is someone coming with you with a service dog that also does not fit your insurance, pit bulls and that whole thing. And we did kind of touch on that because that's
honestly, that would be the easiest thing for me. I'm sorry, I'm unavailable. I cannot, as a company policy, we do not allow pit bulls. I don't know.
You can refuse a service animal if it's a dangerous breed.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You're
what
okay on that. If it's
that's
a pit
what
bull
we
or a
discussed. I just didn't know if anybody else happened to have come across that.
That's one of the exceptions.
Yeah. The word pit bull is coming to my head. I just thought of somebody that had a pit bull that shouldn't have a pit bull, and they have a pit bull. And first of all, it's not on your insurance. Shelter insurance does not allow pit bulls. So let's just be clear. If you have shelter insurance and you have a pit bull claim, you lost. And probably all of them do. Lloyd's of London does not. They're open to all breeds. I would not have a vicious dog. What is a vicious dog? All effing dogs are vicious in my world. They can bite you.
Weenie dog for my daughter's face apart.
Who?
A weenie dog.
But, I like animals to a certain degree. If they don't pee, if they don't pee, or poop or anything, I'm cool.
Like
Emotional support animal. This is a good. Ray coming up with some weirdness. There's an emotional service animal because you're lonely. You need a dog.
Yes.
That's called Petco. There's a real thing. Damn. I'm going to a new business. Come, I'll sell you a dog. It'll make you feel better.
You don't need a letter from anybody.
It's a taxi. It's probably like
service animal or a scam. You don't have to.
Yeah, I bet you it's covered under the insurance too, right? It's probably. I don't know. Let's just get away from animals.
I have a friend that if she.
There better not be about no dog, girl. Nope, we're moving on. Come on.
But if she gets into a bind and doesn't know what to do, she tells them, well, I'll have to discuss that with the board because the board makes the decision on who actually gets to lease this particular property.
Well, number one, you should never own property. Number two, I'm a property manager. Number three, I always have to talk to my boss about this. That should just be automatic. I guess we didn't cover that. But you should never, ever... I'll run into my truck and I'll act like I'm calling somebody. Hey! Can we put a screen on this deal?
No.
Does that make sense? Yeah. Always separate yourself. And I definitely recommend always riding with someone. Like, always driving somewhere with someone. I would never be alone with anybody. One, it's just a great testimony. If you ever have a legal case and someone looked into my face the other day and said, "You're handy." Does anybody know me personally? I just now bought tools the other day. For real. And I text like 10 people. I think I text like, dude, what freaking brand do I buy? Ryobi? What the? I can't even say the damn name. Porter something. Those are my price range, $100. You know what I'm saying? I don't own tools. Okay? I'd recommend you don't own tools either. And if you do, you should roll with somebody. Does that make sense? If you're going to go anytime on a property, you should always be with somebody else. Just a little bit of help there. The lease and addendums. How do you... Well, here's this one thing. The lease. Man. Any questions on leases? Can you put anything you want in the lease? Yes. You can put anything you want to put in there. Has anybody seen that Facebook post I put on there? On my birthday, I get delivered a birthday cake. Has anybody seen that one? Mm-hmm. Some idiot landlord emailed the lease to the person in Word doc, and they added birthday cake on my birthday, delivered with candles. Of course, the landlord signed that deal. Isn't that interesting? Can you put anything in a lease? Yes.
If it's legal.
What's legal? You gonna challenge me all day, man? You gonna start sitting in the back.
The judge decides.
The judge does not decide what's legal. Come on.
We have laws.
This is called laws, girl.
Well,
You drive me wild. Listen, you can put anything you want in the lease. Will it hold up in court? That's the question.
That's it.
No.
The judge.
Well, no, you can challenge a judge. You watch Law and Order? I'm just playing. Man, I went to court the other day. I was like, man, this ain't nothing like Law and Order. Does that make sense? Here's the deal. Judges are wrong. You can challenge it. It's called Roe versus somebody, or you can. Does that make sense? There's a lot of case log on me up there. So, Van Investments. But you can challenge a judge. I'm just saying the point. We're in leases, and you might want to date a judge just to find out all those answers that you've been searching your whole life for. They're single, but because Pat's looking for somebody. There's women judges, and they all have one rent house. You guys can just have multiple little houses.
I love
together.
judges. I do. That's
Okay.
my favorite people.
Here's the thing that I just want you to be clear on. Here's the thing, just for my experience. Now, you don't have to take my advice here. This is all free advice and check but verify. I would have a clean, concise lease, okay? And judges do read them. When you start getting funky and starting adding paragraphs and paragraphs of, if you don't pay your rent at 3 o'clock on Friday, this is going to happen, the judge will get pissed off and he'll get juiced up on you, okay? Is there a standard lease?
No. Well, the state has a lease.
The state, yeah.
The state has a version you can use if you want to, or
Right.
use parts of it, or
Exactly.
or tweak it or whatever.
I've seen judges scan leases and just start getting all with their red pen out. No, okay? And I've seen one judge deny something else on a late fee on another case for somebody else, okay? So what does that mean? Also, this big word, I can't even spell it, but we'll try it. Let's do it together. Interpretation. Somebody? Ription? Tishan? Ription? Interpretation. Okay? Take 20 syllables, all right? So here's the deal. It's all how you present it. Because does anybody have a late fee? Is it legal to have a late fee?
Yes.
Does it say it in the law books?
No amount.
Does not say a certain amount. Well, there's a thing called the usury. Okay? I'm just saying, what's the standard? Is there a standard? I've seen tons of judges throw out late fees.
5% is usually acceptable in our courts here.
5%? Okay.
Doesn't have to be. But
Anybody else know what a standard fee is? 50? Anybody do 100? Oh, it does 100? Oh man, I'm changing no, I don't. I want to do 100. I do 50. Okay, and that's my lease is very clear. It's due on or before the 1st. It's on the 2nd. It is $50. It took I would say 6 months to a year, because you have to change everything. This is why you have this addendum. Okay, so if you have 100 units, let's say, and 30 people are on an old lease and 30 new people are on another lease, you're going to have to send them an addendum. And I think you can do this through email. Can you do that through email? Like we change policy here a lot, and when something happens, we have to inform everybody. So I would just make that a common practice. If you go pick up rent for somebody, you have to legally pick up rent for somebody else. If you allow someone to be late for some specific reason, you don't charge that person. And how does people find out about this? I don't know. But you'd be surprised how people will throw other people under the bus just so they can get their name somewhere. Does that make sense? So a common practice that we have is that when we make any change at all, we make it very clear that everybody, this is the new policy change, ineffective, and how much notice do you have to give people?
30 days.
30 days.
Why do you use a lease? Use a monthly rental agreement instead. I don't use a lease.
There's people, I actually know real landlords that don't use leases at all. And what happens when you don't have a lease? It's automatic default. That's the law. It says in the law, it goes to a 30-minute lease, but there's no contingencies in that lease. It's like the
I
wild.
have a written monthly rental agreement. It's 30 days. It renews every 30 days, but it has all the same terms and conditions. But the point is, you do a 12-month lease, you're bound for 12 months. All they got to do is not pay you the damn rent. They're not bound for nothing. What are you going to do? Take a default judgment against a deadbeat for 6 months rent? No good. So why have me tied up?
So we're gonna. You guys ever have a Bible study where you pray over somebody? We're gonna do that today. for Pat. You seem kind of disenchanted there, Pat. You get a little nervous with a little pen. You fresh out. Why you show up, homie? Dude, we're gonna have to have a. You guys got a service animal for him? And have it, rub up on you. Do the backup. Seriously, you need help.
You're tied up. They're not really tied up anyway if they stop paying.
Listen, man, when I sign a lease, it's 7 G's for me. When I look at somebody, they walk through the door, I don't look at month to month. I look, wow, that's $7,000. That's $10,000. Oh, she's $1,500 a month. That's how I look at it.
You evict
if they don't pay, they don't evict. That's just the nature of the beast of the game.
I understand.
But I don't want that person to come to me. I don't want that person to come to me in the middle of the winter. And they have a 30-day notice. It's a gamble anyway. It's a fake piece of paper anyway. It means nothing. Contracts are a joke anyway. People can sue anybody for anything. A lease is a piece. But I have this mystical power over you because I have this mystical lease that really mystically means nothing. Especially if you're Pat Poynton.
Well, sure.
You're gonna like.
It doesn't really do anything for you.
Exactly. It's like I got hate mail once a long time ago. It happens. I get hate mail every once in a while. And everybody likes. I'm waiting for somebody to tattoo my name on them one day. This will be my wife next to Pat's wife because she's got like some other dude's name on there. No. So, someone, just to answer Teresa's thing, someone sued me. I thought you were a Christian. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're all hypocrites. Let's just get that out the way. You can say you're a Christian, you get discounts at stores and stuff. So they, oh, you recording me too? Damn. Why are you're suing this person? And I said, listen, man, I don't want to sue anybody. But this is a contract that we had an agreement that this person did this and you were responsible to do that. We wouldn't have attorneys if everybody honored what they say they were going to do. But you have to have some piece of paper that has some expectation. Does that make sense? So if you want to do 12 months, 12 month to month, by all means, okay?
That's why we have marriages. There's an expectation. Maybe he
right.
wants to just
Death do us part.
Do a shack-up.
Right. Have you been divorced? Yes, I have. Okay. Am I going to go to hell? No. I love Jesus. I'm just saying. Does that make sense? So you're going to have a contract. It just sets the expectation. You are a business owner. You're providing a service. There has to be some sort of expectations. This is when I need to get paid. This is how much I need to get paid. This is how you get paid to me and blah, blah, blah. And these are the certain things that we have in there. What are the things that you should have into the lease? What are the most important things? Here's the thing that I messed up on a court case. Just so you know, because I was a little sketchy back then, kind of. I always try to add another extra month in. Like, it was a 12-month lease, but I kind of pushed it to the next month. I got caught on that.
Okay, let me ask you. If you do a partial month, then do you do the 12th or do you do a partial month at 11?
That's a good question. Well, 2 weeks is no big deal, but I deliberately pushed it for the next month. But real big on my lease, it says 1 year residential lease. Does that make sense? Well, what's 1 year into interpretation, right? So I don't have the term on top anymore. You have to have it on your lease. You have to have a start date and an end date. That's the law. Or I guess.
It is the law.
Okay. Man, I'm making stuff up as I roll. Well, that's the law. I don't know if that's the law. If you want to know the law, for $20, you can buy that CD back there. It has the law recorded for fast people that can drive around. That's the whole landlord-tenant law in Oklahoma back there. Now, that's one thing. What else do you have to have on there? Names. Like, hello? Names. Who? All the people living there, their names. Do what?
I have the ages.
I do have ages on there. I have everyone's social number on there too. Okay? I have everything on there. I'm not playing around with people.
They turn 18, you need to know.
Yep. Because, notices that you can serve are not functional with a 12-year-old. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They never got the notice. Okay? That's one reason why you want people's names and addresses, their thing. What else do you need to have in the lease? The number, the amount of what the lease is for. Not necessarily grouped up to 12. I definitely recommend, Pat just says, hey, it's $500. But I put on that lease, I give them a sheet of paper beforehand. This lease equals this amount of money. And this is what, if you move out 2 weeks from now, you're going to be bound to this much money. This is what you're going to pay me. I'm gonna sue you for 40,000 or whatever that comes up to. 500 times. What's that number? 6,000.
6,000.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll do my calculator in front of him. I just want to be clear. 2 weeks, you pay me for, okay? We're signing the lease, okay? And so it's a contract. Death to us part. Okay? What else do you need to have in that lease? Trevor? Terms, that's dates and times and places. The address of the property. Where they make payment. Okay? What are the cool creative things that you put in there? Anybody have any creative? Joanna, you seem so in love with attorneys and judges and you know so much about them. Tell us one creative thing that you have in your lease that you feel like you...
Well, Robert Elder, I copied his.
Ooh.
So he's an attorney, though. That's the higher up thing.
How maintenance is handled?
Yeah, but also, I just put that you can have, 30, it exceeds, supersedes, I should say, the putting it out at the curb or keeping it 30 days after they move out.
So you have a contingency in there if they move out and abandon it, that they're forfeiting all their stuff.
That's right.
That's one secret landlord trick.
I'm not sure that would hold up either.
I know.
Really
That's a good one. Okay.
Except
Trevor had something that brought a good point, huh?
there's exceptions, baby items, and your prosecution.
You can put anything, like we said in the beginning. You can put anything. You can put anything you want in the document. Let's just get what Trevor said. He said, "How do we handle maintenance? Does anybody have a clause in there that states what happens with repairs to a certain amount of money?" Do anybody want to elaborate on that?
$100, it's your problem. Over 100 is my problem.
Okay. So anything that's under $100, it's your responsibility as the person that's being occupied, resident, tenant, however you want to classify that individual. Anything over $100 and above. And what does that do? What's your name, Brian?
Brian, yep.
Does that help? Does it hurt? And you trust people to touch your property that's under $100?
Honestly, they usually call me, even if it's just a little nitpick crap. Usually, if I'm nearby, I'll just fix it because I can usually just fix it. But
well, you haven't been to one of my classes. No, don't touch property. No, I was just playing. Well, here's the thing. It works, right?
It does work. I mean,
it prevents from people from calling you. This is why this is in there.
Yeah, I've had light bulbs, and I'm like, dude, just change your own light bulb. I'm not
Right.
doing that. It's in your lease. It's under $100. It's your problem.
Well, this is how I look at it. I have tons of friends that do it that way. I don't see a problem with it. This is my way. I charge you for everything. That's my way. Oh, you got something stuck in the toilet? Absolutely. I'm coming over there. Handy Bob, Jimmy Jack, and Plumbing 101, and we're going to charge you for that fee. I mean, because I just control the situation. That's why. Because I don't know what plumber they have in there. Are they licensed or unlicensed? Are they touching something that I want to touch? But I know on a lot of high-end properties, friends of mine that have tons of property in Houston, that's how they do it. They have like a $250 minimum or maximum, and they never get calls.
So on yours, what do you do? Like if it is
I don't even think I have that clause in there. I just like to know what's going on with the property. It also gives me a reason to get into the property, and all of our staff, anyone that works for us, even if you're a contractor, you enter the property, you take pictures like nobody's business, and then you leave. Does that make sense? And just, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. When I first heard that, and that's why I'm glad that you brought that up. That may work for you if you're an individual, but the properties that I have, I have a spectrum of high end all the way down to the studs. People are living in them. I'm just playing. But this is what it looks like. On picture in the courtroom, it looks like that. That I'm a slumlord. That's okay.
I tell them to do that. I come in and change the filters monthly, and then I get into the property.
We do that quarterly.
And then I also tell them whenever it's winter, they have to let their faucets drip, and caps on, yada, yada, yada. That's all on my list, all that kind of stuff.
Honestly, I probably would lean towards that. I had a tenant. I have a property that they lived in there for like 5 years and never heard from them. And, we're looking at the financials. We're like, what should we do with this property? Should we sell it? Should we keep it? Man, we made so much money off this property. We made blank, blank per month, blank, blank. It's a great asset. When that dude moved out, guess how much it cost me to fix that mother effer up? Did we make money over the 8 years? Zero. Now, could I have prevented that? Absolutely. It comes to my mind all the time. If I was not lazy and I ran over there, not me personally, or had a business structure in place where we're doing filters every quarter, I could probably stop that problem from happening. And so I struggle with this. You know, I don't remember what I wrote about in my red book about this till I do now, because before I'm all about all hands off, all about, you know, outsourcing is everything I can. But I think maybe you should have a business model that says, hey, I know that a couple years ago I made it a habit to go to every property, you know, at least drive by it. Does that make sense? Just to still not burnt down, or roofs, or limbs. I mean, seriously, I can hire 2 full-time people. That's all they do all day is drive around checking out properties. But that's, you know, that's $50,000 down the drain, and you know, so I don't know. I've had landlords require the property manager to take pictures of the air filter. Now, I'm in my lease, in my addendum, and I think I have this on my website, but I make them sign an addendum that says this: you are responsible for that air filter, period. If we come, we will all our staff, handyman, are required to go as soon as you call us. We go there. The first thing we do is go look at the air filter, because that's the biggest expense that we have, right? If you look at where all the money goes, it's the heat and air guy. Okay, it's not the lawn care guy. It's the heat and air guy, right? So that's the first thing we do when we enter a property. We go right to the air filter. He's required to take a picture of it. If it's dirty at all, we charge the tenant $125 for that service call. And it's very clear. We have videos. This is how you change out the filter. Now, I mean, if I only have 10 houses, maybe, but we're dealing with a lot of properties, a lot of people, you know, that maybe not mechanically inclined like myself, don't know how to open the damn thing and, you know, take the thing out. Is it upside down? Is an arrow going F you? You know, I don't know this stuff. And a lot of people don't even. I have a piece of paper that tells you how to turn the breakers on and off. There's people. There's service calls that we ran over there, and it was a breaker. Wow. You see, we're trying to eliminate that as much as possible, but it's very. I have an addendum that I mean, you will not rent a property. You will know if you do not change that filter, you will be paying for that service call, and it's $125. And do we have any blowback on that? No, we don't. They pay it, or guess what? They're evicted. Because why? How can I do that?
It's a lease violation.
It's a lease violation. That's one. Always good to have an attorney on your friend, on your side thing. Number 2, because where's the rent money go? What does it say in your lease? What does it say in my lease?
It's applied to charges first.
My lease says it applies to all charges first, before the rent. Yeah, you write that down, Brian. Everybody should be writing that down. That's why you showed up today and paid $10,000 to enter the building. You know, we're the gurus here. You know, we're charging.
Did you get any smart calls this weekend?
I have no idea. I haven't even seen.
We had tenants without power.
I don't know. That's not my job anymore. That's somebody else's job.
I said check with OG&E.
OG&E? Oh, yeah. That's my first thing. Anybody? Yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood. If someone calls me on any kind of power or water problem, did you call OG&E? You leverage someone else's.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other unique addendums?
I like to say
Smoke addendum. Smoke texture addendum. Death addendum.
Yeah.
What's a death addendum?
What to do with their shit when they die?
What do you do? Yeah, I have a death addendum. You can buy this on my website. I think I sell it on there. If someone died, what do you do with their stuff? And so what I do with this death addendum is I have them fill it out, and I'm like, man, if you died tomorrow, got hit by, you know, the thunder bus, what would happen?
Yeah, where do you keep your cash?
Where do you know? Is it under the mattress or in the coffee can? I just need to know that. And then who could I give this to? Who legally the law says I'm not allowed to touch your stuff. Where should I put this? Oh, my grandma. Yeah, put your grandma's name and phone number on a piece of paper for me. I appreciate that. And now I have a way to collect rent, okay, through the grandma. Hey, grandma, did you know that Sally has not paid her rent since? That's one reason why I have that addendum. They'll gladly fill that out if they know that I'm going to give them their flat screen and I'm not going to keep it. But it also protects me that I can get them out ASAP if they do die. Does that make sense? Which has that happened to anybody in there?
My mother recently.
It's happened. It's happened. It's going to happen. That dude that left, that guy that just left there, he was on property and the dude was dead. And he's all scared about death and stuff. People die, get over it. All right. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Okay, getting the rent paid on time. How do you do that? What tricks can you do to do that?
Automatic pay.
Automatic pay, HCA, Buildium offers that service. You can also, on Buildium, you can change what percentages that they're charged, so you're not paying for the convenience fee. Because legally, you can't say charging them a credit card processing fee. That's actually on the law books. You could say conveniency fee. Do not say processing fee. It's illegal. Okay, you gotta say the word convenient. Take out the word. Okay. How else can you get paid?
On the lease signing, you need to emphasize the actual due date, and then what happens after that.
And they're all excited when they sign the lease. I have them sign something that says this is when they're due in the initial that area. You could maybe offer a discount if they prepay.
Because people assume they might have 10 days grace period. And
Yeah, some other dumb landlord started the word grace period. You know, I mean, I'm gonna kill that dude or girl. Did you start that? Somebody started the word grace period. What? I bet you it was a credit card company. Absolutely have a grace period because it's called compounded interest. Right? I mean, that's who coined that word. Somebody find that out. How else can you get paid on time? Everybody know? Reminders. You can email reminders, text message blast, automatic.
I send a self-addressed envelope with my bill.
I used to do that for many years. I would send them an invoice and a return address envelope. Not with the stamp on it, though.
No.
I did that for many years. Or when someone would bring their rent, I'd give them an envelope, a self-addressed stamped envelope on the way back. What else?
You can get a card from, it's a GoBank, and you can have it, they can put money on it at Walmart, and then it can be automatically sent to you.
Yeah, MoneyGram, it's called, I think, too. And there's also Family Dollar. You can do, I can't remember the name of it. I wired money to someone the other day on a property that I forgot to pay them, and it's out of this area. And I went on Walmart.com or MoneyGram, and it cost me $12 because it was my mistake. I felt bad that this contractor did the job, and I could not get to the job site to pay this guy. And my rule of thumb is I pay people instantaneously. That is my number one rule because I want to be paid instantaneously. And I had to wire money to this guy, and I'm like, Western Union, $45. No, it was the easiest, fastest thing I've ever did, and it's every Walmart. You can wire money to somebody, and it was like $12. It was fascinating. But yeah, Family Dollar has one, I think. You can set up at your bank. Here's a way to get paid. You can set up a separate bank account and hand them deposit slips and have them go through the drive-through and deposit it right into your bank account. That's one way a landlord does it. What are the creative ways to get your rent paid? Knock on their door. Don't ever do that. Anyone else? No? Okay. Recording devices. I don't know what send text messages. Reminders. Okay. This is the last one. We'll leave it alone. I don't know why holiday cheer's on there. I don't know what's wrong with me. But that was Christmas. It was December last month. Okay. I recommend one of these devices. You can buy these as cheap as $40. It plugs right into the USB. I record every lease that I sit down with them. It's just a requirement here. It's a policy that we have. There's some case log where a Hispanic person spoke perfect English in a lease signing, knew he was signing a lease, but he thought he was buying the house, and it was his house, and hired legal aid, and next thing you know, it was a long-term legal battle, okay? Because all of a sudden he can't speak English. Wow. For real? For real. So I would just have, $40, I would just have a little recorder device. You get your cell phones. And I always keep in mind, everything's being recorded. Okay, I'm in another case right now where one of my workers entered a property, had to use the bathroom, but stole all this jewelry. They have a police report, have it on video, but we can't find the video. Does that make sense? You just always anticipate, like when I enter a property, man, I'm very cautious, and I will not enter a property unless I have someone with me. I'm just for your protection, don't be casual. This is a serious business. And, we're in a great state, Oklahoma. I'm telling you, I lived in California. I've lived in New Jersey. I've been here since 1992. I'm probably going to die here. But there's just crazy things that, happen in California that I read, and just bizarre situations. People are setting people up. I've been propositioned to pay rent before when I was leasing out a property once. what, you know.
Did you get that recorded?
No, I didn't get that. I was like young. I was like my second lease. Hey, can I work this off? I'm like, what you mean, girl? Can you clean?
It's called in kind.
In kind trade. Look, Jackie, what the hell's wrong with you?
Very kind.
That's a, you know. Anyway, so we're gonna pray for Pat. Put that on the prayer list. We gonna. You too. Don't be smirking, girl. You need salvation too. Anybody else?
I got it.
Okay. Is that it? Any questions, comments? Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow night. 6:30 doors open. 7 o'clock. It's gonna be a banger. We are going to cover legal entities. You need to be here. I don't push classes. We're not selling anything. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to know if your LLC is correct. Okay, your LLC could be wrong. Bring your LLC papers if you want us to look at them. Your bylaws, we'll look at them. But tomorrow, 7 to 9, it's going to be intense. And hopefully I'll see you guys there. Investor Weekend. Oh, you don't want to miss out on Investor Weekend. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.